Talking about jobs. I'm a trainee. I'm a trainee. I work for a large company. I work for a large company. I do the sales ledger. I do the sales ledger. I'm in the account section. I'm in the account section. I've been there for 6 years. I've been there for 6 years. I don't like my job. I don't like my job. It's a good job. It's a good job. It's an interesting job. It's an interesting job. It's a well-paid job. It's a well-paid job. What do you do? What do you do? What's your job? What's your job? What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? Who do you work for? Who do you work for? Talking about work routines. We start at 8:30 and finish at 4:30. We start at 8:30 and finish at 4:30. We normally work from 8 till 5. We normally work from 8 till 5. We don't work on Saturdays. We don't work on Saturdays. We have 40 minutes for lunch. We have 40 minutes for lunch. I do a lot of traveling. I do a lot of traveling. I spend a lot of time on paperwork. I spend a lot of time on paperwork. We are busy at the end of the month. We are busy at the end of the month. We get 4 weeks holiday a year. We get 4 weeks holiday a year. Where do you work? Where do you work? Talking about personal. My boss is the sales manager. My boss is the sales manager. I work under him. I work under him. There are 6 of us in my department. There are 6 of us in my department. The others are mostly women. The others are mostly women. It's a friendly department. It's a friendly department. There are 600 people in all. There are 600 people in all. The company has 600 employees. The company has 600 employees. He's out of work. He's out of work. There are 1,000 skilled workers here. There are 1,000 skilled workers here. She's looking for a job. She's looking for a job. Talking about quitting and finding jobs. How did you find your new job? How did you find your new job? I went to an employment agency. I went to an employment agency. Was it worth it to do it that way? Was it worth it to do it that way? Yes, they were able to get me something good right away. Yes, they were able to get me something good right away. I think I'm going to change jobs. I think I'm going to change jobs. What do you want to do that for? What do you want to do that for? There's not enough chance to get ahead here. There's not enough chance to get ahead here. But don't forget you're getting a pretty good salary. But don't forget you're getting a pretty good salary. Did it take you long to apply for a job? Did it take you long to apply for a job? Too long in my opinion. Too long in my opinion. What did you have to do? What did you have to do? Speak to people, fill out forms, and wait. Speak to people, fill out forms, and wait. Is Mary going to quit her job next month? Is Mary going to quit her job next month? No, she's going to quit next April. No, she's going to quit next April. Are her parents going to support her then? Are her parents going to support her then? No, she isn't going to ask them for any money. No, she isn't going to ask them for any money. Office conversations. Do you receive many inquiries about your product? Do you receive many inquiries about your product? Yes, there are a good number every day. Yes, there are a good number every day. You can't answer all of them personally, can you? You can't answer all of them personally, can you? No, unless they're obviously important, we send back an informal letter. No, unless they're obviously important, we send back a formal letter. What did you spend all your time on today? What did you spend all your time on today? Checking the annual report. Checking the annual report. Was everything in it all right? Was everything in it all right? No, I discovered several errors. No, I discovered several errors. How is the mail handled? How is the mail handled? The executive secretary opens it and sorts it out. The executive secretary opens it and sorts it out. Is any record kept of incoming mails? Is any record kept of incoming mails? Yes, everything is entered in the mail register. Yes, everything is entered in the mail register. I'd like to dictate a letter to the Reliance Company. I'd like to dictate a letter to the Reliance Company. Just a moment, please, while I get my shorthand notepad. Just a moment, please, while I get my shorthand notepad. Would you also bring me the previous correspondence with them? Would you also bring me the previous correspondence with them? I have already placed the file on your desk. I have already placed the file on your desk. What piece of technology could you live without? What piece of technology could you live without? What do you think the world will be like 20 years in the future? What do you think the world will be like 20 years in the future? What is something you have failed at recently? What is something you have failed at recently? What made you choose this as your career? What made you choose this as your career? What's the most interesting thing you have worked on lately? What's the most interesting thing you have worked on lately? What do you love most about your job? What do you love most about your job? What was your first job? What was your first job? How long have you been at your current job? How long have you been at your current job? Why do you think you were hired? Why do you think you were hired? What is the most frustrating thing about your job? What is the most frustrating thing about your job? What's the biggest challenge you have taken on this year? What's the biggest challenge you have taken on this year? What do you think makes someone a great manager? What do you think makes someone a great manager? How many emails have you been avoiding answering this week? How many emails have you been avoiding answering this week? How do you keep yourself organized every day? How do you keep yourself organized every day? Do you ever travel for your job? Where have you gone? Do you ever travel for your job? Where have you gone? What's the most interesting thing you have learned at work? What's the most interesting thing you have learned at work? Man, I really hate networking. Man, I really hate networking. Who has been your career role model? Who has been your career role model? If you could change one thing about this industry, what would it be? If you could change one thing about this industry, what would it be? What inspires you at work each day? What inspires you at work each day? What are your goals when it comes to work? What are your goals when it comes to work?